Okay, so today we are going to talk about the coordinate plane, and I wanted to get us started with just looking at a basic number line. So if we look at number one, it says order the set of numbers from least to greatest. So basically you're just going to draw a number line, and then you don't have to draw a number line. I just want you to put them in order from least to greatest. I'm just creating the number line so that you can see. Okay, if we put 0 in the middle, then 1 would be right beside of it. -1 would be on the other side of 0. And 3, and so on and so forth. So we could see that -5 is farther away from 0 than -1 is. So -5 is smaller than -1. So I want you to go ahead and put those in order from least to greatest. Pause the video if you need to have time to do that. Okay, next, in the other video we talked about this. I want to convert a fraction to a decimal. The fraction bar means to divide, so that means my numerator is going to go inside the house, so that's going to be 2 divided by 9. 9 doesn't go into 2, so I'm going to put a 0. I have to add a decimal and a 0. Decimal goes straight up, so I do not forget it. 9 times what gets me close to 20? That would be 9 times 2. 9 times 2 is 18. Okay, 20 minus 18 is 2. I'm going to add another 0. And it's going to be 20 again. So guess what? It's going to be a repeating decimal. So my decimal would be 2/10 with the bar over it, okay? Number 3, you should be able to do by yourself based on what I showed you for number 2. The only difference is that this one just has a negative sign in front of it. Okay. Number 4, it says which set of rational numbers is ordered from greatest to least. So on this one, you're just going to pick A or B. So if we look at these, we need to convert them all to the same thing, okay? That means we need to convert them to all percents, convert them all to decimals, we need to convert them all to fractions, whichever you prefer. I prefer to convert mine to decimals, okay? So that means I'm going to put them in order from least to greatest. So you're going to sit here, you're going to do A, you're going to turn your percent into a decimal. This one's already a decimal. You're going to turn your fraction into a decimal and your fraction into a decimal. And then you're going to determine, are they in order from greatest to least? If not, then look at B. See if those are in order from greatest to least. On your test, please pay very close attention to whether it says least to greatest or greatest to least. Okay. Number 5, it says use the coordinate plane to answer the questions 5 through 8. Identify the point for the ordered pair for -2. The big thing about coordinate planes is to remember I run before I jump. I have to run across the x-axis and then I'm going to jump on the y-axis, okay? So I'm going to run +4 and jump -2. Which one lines up with that? You're going to tell me which point matches. You can do 6 and 7. You're just going to write the ordered pair. Remember, an ordered pair has a parentheses. It has the first number, which is the x. It has a comma. It has the second number, which is the y, and you close your parentheses. A lot of you forget your parentheses and that you forget your comma, so please make sure you keep those in there. Number 8, we miss these on weekly reviews often. It wants to know which quadrant. It doesn't want to know which point is -2, -3. It wants to know which quadrant would the point -2, -3 be inside of. Okay, number 9. It says if x equals 1 and y equals -2, circle all the following that are true. So we're going to compare numbers. So we're going to plug in x and y for A through E. So let's look at A. I want to plug in x. X is -2, and that is greater than y. Oh, I'm sorry. X is 1, and that's greater than y, which is -2. Is 1 greater than -2? Yes. So A could be an answer choice, so I'm going to put a check mark. Now let's look at B. B. X is 1, and it's saying is less than the absolute value of y, so the absolute value of -2. we should remember that absolute value is never negative because absolute value talks about distance. Distance tells me direction. So I can go to the right, I can go to the left, I can go forward or backward. But I do not lose distance, okay? So I'm not going to be negative. Yes, I can go below sea level, but that's not taking away distance. So distance is always positive. Therefore, absolute value is always positive. So this is actually going to be 1 is less than, and the absolute value of negative 2 is 2. Is 1 less than 2? No, it's not. So B wouldn't be my answer. Okay, do you see what I'm doing? I'm plugging them in. I want you to try C, D, and E by yourself. Okay? Now, for number 10, it says label each point on the coordinate plane to the right. On your computer, it's hard to do. You need to go over here to the insert option, insert, and you can do drawing. And then you can make a circle if it'll load. I do shape, and I can do a circle. You can draw a circle and save and close. So let's see. Wrap text. If this doesn't work, then I just want you to be able to draw it yourself. Okay, let's see if we can move it and get it on here. Oh yeah, there we go. It works. Okay, so you can follow the directions. You might need to rewatch the video, but take your little point and I'm going to run 2 and jump +1 and I'm going to put my dot on there. So you can do that, and the easiest way, instead of having to do that over and over, you click your little dot if it lets you, and you can copy and paste your dot. Okay, next. Number 13, it says, which ordered pair represents the reflection of point J across the y-axis? Okay, we've talked about reflections. Please pay attention to which axis it wants you to reflect across. So this one wants you to reflect across the y-axis. It's labeled on the graph, but remember my y-axis goes straight up and down, and my x-axis goes from left to right, okay? I'm not going to give you that answer. You can figure that one out. If you're confused, raise your hand and I'll come to you, okay? Number 14, you're going to plot the point and then plot the reflection across the x-axis. Number 15, if the coordinate for point B is -1, 2, and it reflects across the y-axis, I just want you to tell me what the new ordered pair is. Remember, if it reflects across the y-axis, the y stays the same. The y stays, and the x changes. Okay, that's if it reflects across the y-axis. The opposite happens if I reflect across the x-axis. So if I flip across the x-axis, the x stays the same and the y changes. Okay, and then 16, which of the following ordered pairs is located inside of the square on the graph? So you look at your answer choices. One of these points will be located inside of the square, okay? And you're just going to pick A, B, C, or D. If you have any questions, please raise your hand and ask.